So we had a solidarity walk last night with some patriots, some concerned citizens here in Rowlett, Texas. And great, it turned out to be a great event. Initially there was a lot of trepidation because of the violence and the looting and the rioting and things that had been happening in other parts of Dallas County over the weekend. And so when we heard about it, my wife had initial trepidation. She was like, "Oh, we're not going to that." And I told her, I said, "Listen, I don't feel like this is going to be that, right? The people who were organizing it, the young woman here in Rowlett who organized it, everybody seemed like very, reasonable, just simply concerned people who were outraged over, the vicious murder of Mr. George Floyd and the ugly occurrences of racism with the Amber Cooper up in New York." And so, I said, look, there's no way there's going to be a rally or a solidarity walk here, in my backyard and me not go. So, I talked Michelle into it. I said, look, let's go. Just go take a couple pictures. If we get there and it looks a little rowdy, we'll just come back. So we drive across the bridge. When we get there, we see nobody. There's we don't see anybody. We don't see nobody with signs. We see, the boat dock is full of people, with their boats. And it's just packed. It's literally packed. It's overflowing into the 7-Eleven parking lot. So, but we get there and there's police everywhere, right? Rockwall police, Rowlett police. they're cruisers. It had to have been, a dozen police officers from each, 6 from Rowlett, 6 from Rockwall. Wind up having, like I said, really turned out to be a very incredibly positive thing. I got to meet the new chief. Actually, both the chiefs are new. So I met both of the chiefs. Walked with the chiefs. We talked. We had a really good conversation, hard conversation. I ain't hold no punches. I let them know how I felt. And we had a good conversation. And so at the end of this thing, we're out there for about an hour, I guess. We're coming back and we see this guy. We see this guy. He's sitting out there. He's standing there like he's standing. And, initially Michelle says to me, don't say nothing to him. Don't say nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, now this is bullshit, man. This is ridiculous. Like, what are you here to do? What are you here to do other than try to intimidate somebody? Right? Other than to just try to intimidate somebody. That's your only purpose for being out there. You're a damn liar if you try to say, "Oh, I was concerned about the violence and I was concerned about, the possible damage to property." That's bullshit, man. Let's say for argument's sake, that was your thought. Okay, you saw all of the violence in Dallas, you saw the property damage, you saw the looting and rioting and all that. And so when you heard that there was going to be something in Rockwall, Rowlett, you thought, well, let me jump to action. Let me be super citizen and jump to action. Right? And then when you rolled up to this thing and you saw that it was only about 20 people, 80% women, and you saw that there were about 12 police cruisers and police presence all over the place, did you really think you were still needed? Did you really think you needed to come out and protect the lake, the bridge? What did you think you were protecting? No, man, all you were doing was trying to intimidate. Standing out there with your little gun and your vest, your little wannabe G.I. Joe. See, that's not helpful, homeboy, whoever you are. It's not helpful. So unless you were a Leo, unless you were a law enforcement officer, you should have been in uniform and you should have been like the rest of the law enforcement officers. So you're not helpful. So the rest of you want to be whatever you're doing, you're not helpful. You don't need to show up. You had more armament than the damn police. Again, no reasonable reason for you to be there other than try to intimidate somebody because you got a gun on your chest. There were women and children out there, dude. We weren't out here trying to do anything. There was none of the fomenting of fear and mongering, all of that foolishness. None of that stuff happened yesterday. What happened was positive engagement with our police department to be proactive about our concerns regarding police brutality, police oversight, community policing. And we moved the ball forward on that because, again, we got to meet the chiefs. We got to meet some of the other law enforcement officers. All of them smiled at us and said, we thanked them. Man, it was great. That's what policing ought to be, right? That's what it ought to be. And so that's what we're going to work towards in this city, because we're going to do like one of your favorites said, we're going to trust but verify. And that's what our role is supposed to be as citizens, to be engaged, to be proactive. We're not going to wait till we're in Minneapolis. We're going to go and engage with the police and break down some of these barriers, have some of these hard conversations so we can move the needle forward. So thank you to everybody last night who came out. Thank you to both the chiefs in Rowlett and Rockwall. And I look forward to working with you guys to be an example of what other cities can be when it comes to how the police interact with the citizenry and the people they're sworn to serve. All right.